This is step 1 for project 2. You will need your art book, you will need a ruler, and you will also need a pencil. What we're going to do for this project is we are going to practice drawing a cylinder form and turn that cylinder into something a little more specific, such as a aluminum can, soda pop can, or a LaCroix, my drink of choice kind of can, bubbly water. So fizzy. So we are going to practice drawing for this class time today, and you're going to go ahead and, well, actually watch me first before you open up your art book. So with this video, I want you to listen, pay attention, and once I start drawing, I want you to start drawing, and feel free to pause at any time if I'm going too fast. So just pause so that you can stay on track with me. I will keep this picture here so you can look up at this picture on your screen. We are going to be drawing a pop can. So I'm just going to explain a little bit how I start drawing cylinders. Noticing size. So this is your art book. Your little wiry binding is on one side. I want you to draw the vertical way. So looking at my art book, you know, my can is about a little bit smaller, maybe from the bottom of my thumb all the way up to my tallest middle finger. So about the size of your hand. My hands are a little bit bigger than yours. So that's how big your can is going to be, right in the middle of your paper. So think about that when you're practicing, making sure that it's nice and big, no bigger than your hand, but about this size. So when I start to draw a cylinder, I always start with the shape at the top, so that oval shape at the top, and then I work my way down. If you have another way that you'd like to try, sometimes people start with these straight lines going across. That's a little trickier, but if you have been drawing cylinders a while and that's what you're comfortable doing, try it. But I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down, so try it that way too. So you're gonna be drawing that oval and then adding that detail to that lip, and I'll go over that in this video, so hopefully you can see it's a little light. I went ahead and drew a cylinder, not really thinking so much about the pop can, but thinking about just that cylinder form, so like a regular can, and how the edges go straight down from the ends of the oval and going straight down. And then noticing that the bottom curves the same way as it curves up at the top. That's what creates that form shape. So that's what gives this object that I'm drawing some depth, height, width, and then the depth. So that curve shows it and makes it more three-dimensional. So it's very important to make sure you have the curve at the bottom that matches your curve at the top. And in this case, you're going to be also drawing an extra curve to show that dent that happens in that pop can form. So I'm going to go ahead, and I want you to go ahead and turn to your first page. And you are going to go ahead and draw along with me. So again, art book, first page, pencil, and your ruler. So also remembering you want it to be large and right in the center of your paper. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my oval shape at the top. I'm looking at that picture. Okay. So kind of looking over here, over here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add that lip. So looking at my can right here, you can kind of see that little edge right there. We're gonna create that. So when you do something like this, I'd start at the bottom and make a little lip, and then it kind of melts back into once you get close to the edge. And then you're going to come around on the inside of your oval and continue going all the way around and kind of again melting back onto the edge. So I want you to go ahead and do it. If you need to pause, go for it. Next, what we are going to do is I have that curve right here. So what we're going to create now is that little kind of like a almost curved diagonal line that goes towards, juts out a little bit. So at about right here, you're going to draw just a little line, and you want to make it symmetrical, matching on both sides, even as best you can. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue and add another curved line. So it's going to match this one. So if you have to move your notebook around, I like to move it around so that I kind of have a nice angle. You can go ahead and do that. And you know, drawing lightly, I always encourage that. It's easy to erase if you make a mistake. We all make mistakes. So it kind of has that curve. So for this next step, you are going to use your ruler and draw your straight lines going down. Remember not to stop too early. We don't want a little can, we want a regular size, I think it's 12-ounce can, aluminum can. So kind of looking at this picture and comparing, grab your ruler. And what I like to do when I'm drawing a straight line with my ruler is I like to line up my ruler to the edge of the paper so that I know it's nice and straight. And then very carefully you're going to go ahead and draw a straight line going down. Don't go all the way down. I'm thinking right there. Yeah, thinking that's good. Whoops, made a mark. So I'm just going over it so that you can see a little bit better. Because if I draw too light, then I'm not really going to be able to see on the screen. But I want you to draw light. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, matching my ruler to the edge. And then holding that ruler carefully, going down. Trying to stop, kind of eye it up, stop at the same point. And then at the bottom, you are going to create that another curve. So it's not just going to go straight across like this. We're going to have a little bit more of a curve, just like you did right here and just like you did right here. And now that I've drawn it all, I kind of look back and try to make sure that it's like I want it to be. And then there's another little lip. If you notice on my pop can, I got another little lip. I don't want to flip it over because I don't want my pop to spill out. You can kind of see it right there. and you see it in black right here. So starting right at the edge, and then just kind of making almost like a smaller curved rectangle, and then getting cut off at the edge right there. Okay, so there's a start. Next, after you get your full form, then you can go ahead and add the detail of the lid, or the part that cracks. So when you do that, looking at that shape, it's kind of a rectangular, curvy rectangular shape off to the side. Takes up a lot of that oval space. And again, if you have to slant, and then looking at the shapes inside, circle, square, a rounded square, and then the opening. I don't like how that looks. I'm doing it again. I make mistakes, like I said, everybody makes mistakes. So if you don't like it, erase it. Make sure that you draw lightly. But again, this is just a practice. So let me try that again. It's gonna be a little bit bigger. I think I'm gonna start with, and do that again. So kind of off to the side. And then okay. And don't worry about coloring anything in yet. It's a little bit better. Okay. So here is your first attempt at drawing your can. What I want you to do, if there is extra time, is I want you to try it again. So going back on this video and going to when I started drawing it, I want you to do it again until we run out of time for art today. So keep practicing, and then next week we will move on to the next step. This is step 1.